Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us, and happy President's Day. I hope those of you who are off today enjoy a relaxing day. Glad to have you in with us. I was doing something that I love to do at least once a year, and that is to gut my closet, right? Like throughout the year, I get stuff. Stuff goes in there. Some stuff is new, some is gifted, whatever. You know how it gets. And it gets the clothes that are spaced out quickly gets squished tighter and tighter, right? Until you're like, dude, what's going on? My closet's a total mess. And so you do spring cleaning. And then you come across something, you're like, oh, look at this. I really loved this. I used to wear this all the time, and I'll feel so bad if I part with it. And so something that you probably haven't worn in quite some time remains in the closet, right? So in some sense, this jacket or shirt or these jeans are making a case. They're presenting themselves, they're presenting a case about why they should be kept. And that's obviously happening within your emotion, within your mind. But you're just falling victim to that quick temptation by the article of clothing. To really gut your closet, and this is one of the things that I had to learn. I learned this from Greg McKeon, who is the author of the book Essentialism. He said, look, when you're gutting your closet, ask yourself the harder question. Not do I love this? Not that someday I'll plan to wear this again. Ask yourself, if I did not already own this, what would I be willing to pay for it? Right? And so when you ask yourself deeper and harder and tougher questions, you are going to find, oh, that shirt is gone. On his way to Goodwill, right? Like, in other words, I'm not going to wear that. Who am I kidding? Because I wouldn't pay $5 for it today. Out it goes. These tough questions, though they are exactly that, very difficult to ask, and even more so to answer, they help shed clarity and light on what we're doing. Because look, things around us are constantly pushing and trying to make their case. This is nothing new, right? In Proverbs chapter 18, we hear in verse 17, a great thing. And it seems like it's a court case. But listen to what he says. He who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. Now, so it's like when when something goes down and there's a chaos, a tumult, a catastrophe, a happening, whatever word, I'm losing my word. But when something happens and someone comes, well, it wasn't me, here's the reasons why I was, and he looks good because he made his case first. And then someone comes and says, wait. We got video footage watching you walk in and do this and do that. And you're like, uh-oh, right? I mean, what he's saying is that when the case is made initially, it looks good. When that shirt in my closet came back out of the corner and I saw it, oh, it looks good. But after examination, after asking difficult questions, it was easy to put that shirt in the giveaway bag, right? Do you understand? This is what Proverbs is telling us. You got to ask the tough questions because things will present themselves to you constantly. You're constantly being bombarded. It's like your life is a closet and it's jammed. You've got to ask tough questions in order to purge. We talked last week, I think it was Friday, to ask that tough question about obligations, right? Like ask yourself that if my life was completely blank and I had nothing to do, and I'm going to start rebuilding my life and design, what would I bring back in, right? If everything was gone, what would I bring back in, right? Like asking yourself difficult question. Here's another good one. My bride and I were at dinner the other day, maybe a month ago, and we just the two of us, great conversation. And I said, what are 3 things you have learned in the last 5 years? Like 3 big things that you've learned in the last 5 to 10 years. And it spawned a great conversation. But then it came down to, of all the things you have learned, what would you not repeat, but you find yourself repeating now? Like asking tough questions it helps put us in the right perspective so that we can start to focus on the right things. And as this year, I mean, we're in February now, we're more than halfway through the second month of the year. And it's like, we if you think back to all the promises you made yourself on January 1st and all those things you resolved to do, how much of them are you doing? Part of it is lazy, and I get it. And part of it is just weren't serious about the commitment. But part of it is like all of the chaos and the obligations that we fall into, we do it by rote, by habit, without thinking about it. To make those changes is very difficult. And look, I get it because I struggle with it before you do. I mean, every day I struggle with this kind of stuff. But I have found that by living a crucifixional life and really bringing out the sword, the axe, whatever, to cut off some of that stuff, is It's so important, right? It has to be done. And so I've got a modicum of experience with it, and I want to share it with you. WarriorSaints.org, baby. That's it. When we go, we mean business. I guess that's what it is. We said to you the other day, we teach you the business so you can do the business, right? Like we're trying to be the business in our own lives. Join us, WarriorSaints.org. Subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. Allow yourself to get the tools that come from God Himself, how to live that crucifixional life, so you can start asking the tough questions and then making the right decisions. Love you. We'll be back tomorrow. As always, keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.